Bully cop alert. What's happening, everybody? Thanks for joining us. Police and the Police, live on Stand Against Dark Blue, Facebook and YouTube. As always, comment on this video, like this video, share this video with somebody that you love, and invite them to join the fun. I don't know if you heard that, but I don't know what that was. So tonight we have a good show in store for you. We've got several different videos, Bodycam footage, surveillance footage, just regular old iPhone footage. And in the span of about 30 to 40 minutes, we're going to see a suicide by cop. We're going to see a road rage incident that will lead to the end of a police officer's career, and rightfully so. And we're going to see a ridiculous display of humanity. I'm embarrassed to be an American after watching this video of these people going into Walgreens and just having at it. Helping themselves because they know Walgreens will not prosecute for shoplifting. And you know what? That's what they get. I don't know how many stores now are closed. Walgreens has closed dozens of stores across the country in high crime areas mainly, and in areas where both management and district attorneys have decided they're not going to prosecute for simple crimes like theft. You know, if it's under $1,000 in certain communities, these Democratic district attorneys are not prosecuting theft. And what do you think you're going to get if you tell people in your community, we're not going to prosecute you if you steal less than $1,000? Well, I'll tell you what you're going to get. You're going to get a whole lot of people going into stores helping themselves to $999.99 worth of stuff. Are we shocked? I'm not shocked. I'm not at all surprised. I mean, you give humanity an inch and they'll take a mile. We are a sinful existence. We're born that way. So if you tell us there's no punishment for you sinning, we're going to sin. If you tell people there's no punishment for you committing crimes, certain people, not all people, certain people are going to commit crimes. It's just as simple as that. I'm really shocked that the news media acts like this is a big fat surprise. It's really, truly not a surprise. So what we're going to lead off with is close to home here in Tennessee. We're based in Nashville, Tennessee, for those of you that watch that are not from here. I'm a former police officer. I worked for Metro Police Department for the better part of 10 years, and now I'm a criminal defense attorney. I've been a criminal defense attorney for 23 years now. Man, I'm getting old. And so I understand crime and punishment and police. And I know a bully cop when I see one. You're about to see one. What does David Riding say? When you find a bully cop, what should you do with him? Let's see what you think we should do with this one. This is an off-duty officer from Deckard Police Department. And for those of you that don't know where Deckard is, it is in the Middle Tennessee, I believe. It's near. Where is it near? Let me just look it up. I think it's near Murfreesboro, Winchester. Yeah, it's near Tullahoma. It's in Winchester. So Deckard is a small town, and this gentleman was a Deckard police officer who was driving down the interstate. Little background, and he spotted somebody going too fast. Now, he hasn't been a police officer very long. They teach you in the academy. When you're off duty, I mean, you're really always on duty if somebody commits a major crime in front of you. But you have to learn to turn that off. You have to learn to mind your own business, especially as it relates to traffic offenses. Okay? You should not be prosecuting traffic offenses, minor traffic offenses, speeding and running red lights and whatever. You see a drunk driver weaving all over the place and that person might hurt somebody. Sure, I understand. You might want to call 911 in the community that you're in and direct patrol officers to your location. But if you see somebody speeding, you just need to do this. It's not hard. You just ignore it. I'm off duty. I don't work as a police officer anymore. I see people doing stupid stuff all the time in a car. I call it out when I see it. Sometimes I'll honk at them if they do something really stupid right in front of me, which happens often. It's hard to be a Christian driving in Nashville. Many, many, many times I about lose my salvation over stupid people doing stupid stuff in cars in front of me. Good evening from Bedford County, Tennessee. Wow. Nice to have you, Melanie. Just left Murfreesboro. Well, watch out for this off-duty Deckard. Well, I won't say police officer. He's a former police officer at this point. Let me show you what he did.
Starting on I-24 near Murfreesboro. News 2's Valencia Wicker takes us to the scene.
He had only been on the job for a few months when road rage essentially cost him his job. This is the street where investigators say former Officer Ward chased down the victim and threatened him with his handgun.
911, what's the emergency?
I'm on Shiloh and Medical Center. There's a guy with a gun drawn right here and a Holiday Inn. He's pointing at a man. He's screaming at him right now.
Witnesses caught much of the Sunday night exchange on camera. 31-year-old Matthew Ward, a then off-duty officer for Deckard Police. He's seen pulling a gun on a driver. Investigators are calling it an act of road rage.
Hold on, because you're within the...
Okay. This man's pointing his firearm at this gentleman who's standing there in shorts and a t-shirt holding a cell phone. He tells the guy multiple times to get on the ground. And I think it's kind of cute. The guy says, "No, I'm not getting on the ground." I think the guy has identified himself as an off-duty police officer. And the guy says, "Look, this is not your jurisdiction." And, you know, number one, it's not your jurisdiction. Number two, you're off duty. Number three, I don't have a gun and you're pointing yours at me. I would appreciate it if you would stop doing that. But I don't know. This guy just looks like a Deckard police officer to me. I shouldn't have said that. I don't mean that as an offensive thing to Deckard police officers, but he just looks kind of country to me.
City limits, okay?
You're not on duty. You Doesn't matter. I am on duty 24/7.
This cop's saying he's on duty.
In the video, you can hear the victim saying,
He's not even from this area.
but according to a Rutherford County Police report, the former officer told deputies he was reacting to how fast the victim was driving on I-24.
Everybody's a little bit stressed right now, but like, chill out. That's a little excessive.
And you see that on shows, and it seems like you see it on a show, and that's really extreme. But then when it's here in your hometown, you're like, wow, I really should be looking both ways in a sense.
Ward has been arrested and charged with aggravated assault. He has since been released. In Rutherford County, Valencia Wicker.
Wow. He's since been released, but darn. If I were the prosecuting attorney in that county, I certainly wouldn't be giving this guy any professional courtesy. Sometimes you see police officers charged with crimes and right, wrong, or indifferent, they get a little professional courtesy from people. I've seen road rage incidents where there's one officer in San Francisco that's been involved in 2 road rage incidents, and both of them have involved him firing his firearm. One of them, he shot the guy 8 times. The guy's paralyzed now. And that cop is still on the force. And these are off-duty road rage incidents. There's no reason for that, except for you've got a weak administration who doesn't know how to deal with disciplinary matters in their department. It's really, really very bad. So let's move on to, I won't say something a little lighter, but I'm going to go back and forth here from cop videos to stupid people videos. And this takes the cake. I just don't get it. I understand humanity. I understand that we humans are a fallen world since Adam. And we have an evil nature. We just do. We weren't born doing good. We were born into a sinful world. And so when you give people an opportunity, like I said at the beginning of the show, to commit crimes, they're going to commit crimes. And we have some prime examples of that tonight, for sure. So let's go to one of them. This, and all of these are from, I hate to just throw them out there, but they're all from Walgreens. What's wrong with you, Walgreens? I mean, I would love to come work for your organization if you would give me the authority to clean this mess up. I would be your director of loss prevention, and I promise you could open these stores back up. And that's what needs to happen. You need to get somebody in there that's willing to prosecute these people. And when you catch a criminal stealing from you, you have to do something about it. Look at this.
They're not afraid to show their faces either. And there's a reason why for that. And that's because only 1 out of 48 shoplifters get caught. In addition, the police are not going to, unless they're nearby, they're not going to come and try to stop these people. They have bigger things to do.
And it's actually less than that. It's not 1 out of 48. Look at this guy. He's tearing open, and they don't go for milk and bread and crackers and snacks. They might grab some of those on their way out. They're going for the high dollar items, such as over-the-counter medications, cosmetics, and, condoms and things of that nature. Things that are pricey, things that they lock up, razors and the things that cost the most money. And look at this girl. She almost cannot lift this bag that she's carrying, and it's full to the brim. And watch, you think she's leaving now. She's not leaving. She's not done yet. There's some small items she can still fit in there. I just shake my head. And it's a shame. Watch, she's just gonna, they're running out. They don't care that they spill stuff. They're just taking what they can.
Oh, look at that. Just falling all over the place. Okay,
So they have some pictures of these criminals. Here's my favorite. She's almost smiling for the camera. Look at all this stuff that she's got in the bag. I don't know. Is it just me? Am I making more of this than I should? Good evening, Angel. It's always nice to see you. So let me know what you think about these people in Walgreens. And these are communities across the country. They don't do that here in Nashville. They'll prosecute you here in Nashville. I'll tell you the ones that prosecute the best are the Walmart locations. Walmart, they've you got to be careful in Walmart, even when you're not trying to steal anything. If you're in that, I just almost don't go through the self-checkout anymore. If I do go through the self-checkout, I very, very mindfully go through my products and I scan them, and I make double dog sure that I hear the beep and I see the listing come up on the thing. Because if they think that you're pretending to scan things, they'll arrest you. If you are attempting to scan things and something doesn't scan and you don't catch it, they'll catch it. They'll catch you walking out the door, and you'll find yourself in need of a criminal defense lawyer. You can always call me. I'm happy to help. That's what we do. NashvilleCriminalAttorney.com. Just look it up. NashvilleCriminalAttorney.com. Yeah, no conscience. I don't think Murfreesboro, I don't think you can, I know you don't like going to Murfreesboro. I don't know what's wrong with Murfreesboro, Melanie. It's a very nice town. It's one of the fastest growing cities in America, I've heard. But I think they're pretty good about prosecuting in Rutherford County. So it's not like some of these other cities where there are, and I hate to say it, but it is. It's Democratic run cities and Democratic run agencies that have just decided that they're not going to prosecute some of these petty crimes, and they think they're virtue signaling by doing that. And what they're doing is they're causing businesses like Walgreens to nearly go bankrupt. They've lost several locations. I mean, there is absolutely no reason in the world for this store right here to stay open. Why would Walgreens pay people? Why would you pay people to work there? Why would you pay cashiers to work there? You might as well prop the pharmacy door open. If you're not going to prosecute these people, why are you paying employees to stay there and protect your merchandise? Nobody's protecting anything there. They're absolutely run amok. Run amok. And it's a shame. I just, I don't know. I don't know what you do. Let's move on to the next video. We are going to see a couple of cop fights here. I said cop fights, not cock fights. We don't do chicken fighting here. Cop fights. One of them involved state troopers that had pulled over a man, and they went to arrest him, and things started to go bad. And honestly, for a minute, I think they're going to get a hold of the situation. And then they lose control very quickly. Watch what happens, and then we'll talk about it. Yes, I'm okay. Why are you not playing? Play. The content has been identified. I said yes. Why is it not playing? I understand, and I wish to proceed. Here we go.
Can I pat you down? Can you put your hands on the hood here? Thank you. Relax. I don't like doing this any more than you do, okay?
Okay. So it's windy as all get out, okay? And this guy's doing field sobriety test. He's not doing too well, which is why I always tell you people that watch my show, don't ever take these tests. These field sobriety tests where you walk 9 steps forward and 9 steps back, or you follow the pin with your eyes, or you stand on one foot and balance for 30 seconds, or you tilt your head back and touch your nose, or you do the finger count. Any of them. Don't do any of them. None of them are designed for you to pass. They're not objective standard test. You're not going to pass them. I don't care how good you are. You're not going to pass them. And you're going to give evidence against yourself, which you have the right under the Constitution not to do. There is no legal consequence to you refusing these field sobriety tests. I mean, the field test where you're all the ones I just described. And what I mean by that, no legal consequence to you refusing, means they can't charge you with a crime for refusing. They can't make you take them, and they can't charge you with an excessive crime for refusing to take these field sobriety tests. If you refuse the breath test or the blood test, there is a legal consequence to that, and they can charge you with something called implied consent. That's a topic for another video. And we have videos on our channel about field sobriety tests and why you shouldn't take them, and what the consequence is for refusing to take a breath test or a blood test, and why it's beneficial depending upon the facts and situation. If you're going to be charged with a DUI, you would much rather not give evidence against yourself and deal with the implied consent charge than you would to give chemical proof against yourself that can be used against you for a greater punishment crime. Hope that makes sense to some of you. In other words, you're better off refusing to give evidence against yourself than you are to give it. But that's not what this video is about. I wanted you to watch what happens when these officers lose control of this guy.
Go place your hands behind your back. What? Hey, place your hands. I got him. Keep the taser on.
Now, they did save him. They pulled him out of the roadway. He's about to get hit. They tased him, and the taser here was very, very effective. It incapacitated him for a few seconds. Should have been long enough for them to get control of him. But I want you to watch what this one officer does. And I hate to criticize cops after the fact. Monday morning quarterback, and let me just say this. It's easy as I sit here in the comfort of my own home and criticize their officer safety measures. So I get it. I've been there. It's not easy in the moment. The adrenaline that's rushing through you, you get tunnel vision. And you're not thinking as clearly as I'm thinking as I'm watching this video. So don't take this the wrong way, but it just bears reporting that this officer on the left here stops what he's doing as far as getting control of this man. And it looks like he's ejecting a bullet out of a gun, and maybe his gun fell out. He's got a gun here that he's clearing. And I think what he's thinking is, I don't want this guy to get a hold of this gun. So I'm going to drop the mag and I'm going to clear the chamber and throw the gun away. While he's doing that, the taser only goes for so many seconds, and then you have to retase somebody. You can retase them a few times, but this man's going to get his wits about him, and he's going to be able to fight harder if you let him do that. And you shouldn't. You should have been all over him. Toss that gun behind you, throw it under the car, throw it in the weeds. You can get it later. Get rid of it, but concentrate on getting this man in custody. In my humble opinion.
Keep the taser on.
So right here, there's a gun there, and I don't know whose gun that is again, but it was within the guy's reach, and so it could have been the guy's gun. I don't know. But this cop spends a lot of time over here clearing this weapon when he should have been all over this guy and trying to get him cuffed.
Right. My God! Oh, goodness!
So the cop hollered, my gun. And I don't see that the guy's got his gun, but he hollered about his gun. And so I'm thinking the guy was reaching for his gun or maybe tried to get a hold of it or something.
Get the f*** on your back!
So right here, this gentleman reaches in his car and gets a firearm. So the suspect runs around the car and has the ability to reach in the window and get a firearm. I'm going to back it up a few seconds to let you see that part again. So you can see the back windshield was shot out. I think one of the cops got up and as he was pulling away was able to fire a shot off. And these officers are hit. And so these are other officers on the scene that are coming to their aid.
Talk to me! Oh, Jesus. Good shot in the back, man. Talk to me! You talk to me! You talk to me! Stay with us, buddy. Come on, let's get him. Get something up. Get him on the back. Get him up on the street.
That's tough to watch. And I should have been scrolling my tough to watch banner. Sorry about that. YouTube will flag me for not warning everybody. This is a graphic video. But they'll put a warning at the beginning of my video that you'll have to click like I did that other one before you can actually watch it. Cops have a tough job. And, here on this channel, Stand Against Dark Blue, and police and the police both, we criticize the police when we catch them doing something bad or wrong. And we shine a light on the good things that they do as well. We certainly don't stand for defunding the police. If you're a defund the police person, you're probably not watching this channel because I'm certainly not a defund the policer. I believe that the police need more money. I believe they need better training, better recruitment. And if you watch my channel, you know how I stand on that. But certainly they've got a difficult job. It's just sometimes the bully cops make them look bad, and that happens more than we would like to realize. So let's go to one more video we've got. This is obviously a suicide by cop video. And there's some other, I had some other Walgreens videos queued up as well, but I think y'all got the gist of that. Let's see here. Here we go. Nope, I need to share that with you. Give me a second. I have to share this one a little bit differently than sharing my screen. So here we go. So this gentleman, you'll see he backs up and rams this police car, and then he gets out, and you're going to see him count down 1, 2, 3, and he's going to have his hand behind his back. And he's basically indicating to the cops that he's going to shoot at them when he gets to the count of 3. And then when he pulls his hand out, he's got a piece of paper. And the cops, of course, they light him up. They shoot him.
Hey, put your hands down! Put your hands down! Put it down! Put it down! Nothing needs help. Shots fired. Shots hit his head back. Whoa!
This is a different angle of the same thing.
Put your hands down! Put it down! Put it down! Put it down! Hey, you got cover? You good? You put it out? All right. You good? Yep. Hey, let me see your hands. Hey, roll to your stomach. Roll to your stomach. Get out to your stomach. I want to give you aid.
So I don't know why he had a piece of paper. I don't get that part. I know what he was doing. What he was doing is he was getting the cops to shoot him. That's a very common tactic. It's called suicide by cop, and people do that way more than you realize. Well, good. I'm glad you can watch later, Melanie. Thanks for watching and commenting on the video. Be sure to share it with somebody and invite them to the fun next time. But certainly, this guy had mental problems and wanted the police to shoot him. It's really unfortunate because the cop's going to have to live with that too. The guy didn't have a gun. And believe it or not, I mean, I've been involved in a police shooting, and actually most cops don't have to fire their weapon in their career. That's becoming less and less true. But when I was a police officer, I knew cops that had served 20 or 30 years and never pulled their firearm. That wasn't the case for me. I was involved in several police shootings. And I say police shootings. One police shooting where I fired and shot an individual, but several where they shot at us and we couldn't shoot back because of the crowd or something that just prevented us from firing back. It's a scary job. But you get tunnel vision, you get the adrenaline cascade, and And you really feel bad. I felt bad after I shot the guy who committed the robbery. We knew we were staked out on him, and I knew he was going to rob this place. And I didn't realize what was going to happen when he did, and that he was going to come after us with the gun. But during the incident, you don't really think. I didn't hear any of the shots. I didn't know how many times I'd fired my gun. And I just had that real tunnel vision where you just didn't see anything but the guy and the gun. But then the next day and the days after, you think about it and you think, well, what could I have done differently? And, you feel bad. And so this guy, I don't think this guy died. Honestly, I didn't read into it. But I know the cop feels bad about having to shoot him because he didn't have a gun. However, he was left with no choice but to shoot him because of what he did. So tonight we just say, let's pray for America. This country's a mess. You got people rioting and looting all over the country. You've got people that think they have the right to go in these stores and load up whatever they want. And if you think that doesn't affect you, and you live in a small town somewhere and it's not happening in your town, it ultimately affects you because it costs money. And that money is passed on to the consumer. Don't think for a minute that Walgreens is going to eat all that. They will eat some of it, and then they'll raise prices. And eventually you'll pay for it. But it's preventable. We just have to have leaders who are willing to do the right thing. And we have to have prosecutors who are willing to prosecute these crimes. And we have to have Walgreens management and corporate leaders who are willing to prosecute these crimes. You're right about that, Miss West. As in the days of Noah. So I'm just going to pray for this country tonight. I don't do this often, as often as I should. But let's just do that. Father, in the name of Jesus, we just join together, whoever's watching this, and we agree in faith that you're still on the throne and you're still in control of what happens to this country and this world. And so I pray for the leaders of this world. I pray for our police. I pray, Lord, for the people in America to just come to their senses and to have an encounter with the living God, and just to realize that there are better things than to go around and loot and riot and kill and all the things that we're seeing. And so I just believe in faith that you're going to fix this. You're going to sweep a wave of revival across this nation. And people are just going to fall out in honor of you. I believe that in Jesus' name. Amen. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, comment on this video, like this video, share this video, and we'll see you tomorrow. I'm out.
My soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet.